love. Welcome home to Eden. This is Eve Christoph, your Love Life Muse. Subscribe to this channel for the hottest news. So today's focus is religion that empowers women. Okay, let's check into it. Say you meet this hot guy and he's so on fire in his life, and his religion is a big source of his empowerment and happiness. He feels that he actually had a divine experience where spirits just woke him up and started to move through him, and he's been on fire ever since. And say his church is a group of really great people that are do-gooders and are helping society, they're helping the world, they're helping children and poor people, and it's really respectable. But let's say you get into deeper with him, and he wants to come to the church, and you're open to it, and you come, and as you get into the doctrine more and more, say it's Buddhism. Say he's a Buddhist, and it's so peaceful, and it's so spiritually right. A lot of what he's saying about non-attachment, and you respect it so much. But you find out that Buddha, the truth is he didn't allow his female disciple to join him until he was pressured by many of his other disciples. The whole lore about Buddha is that some immaculate conception thing happens, and then he's born out of a rib because, God forbid it's a vagina. And then, when he prays and meditates for years and years, the three goddesses finally appear to him, and he denies them so that he can be enlightened, more enlightened than the goddess herself. And this is how he proves he's enlightened, is he denies the goddess who appears to him, the three of them, all three goddesses. He sublimates his sexual energy, and he abandons his wife and children. And you start to feel, when you hear all this, like sad and unempowered and not so on fire as he does. Similarly, if it's Judaism or Christianity, similar story, Immaculate Conception, born from a rib, Adam comes from a rib. The whole thing is denial of the feminine, denial of you. And you start to feel like, I'm not so on fire by this. I'm not feeling overjoyed. I don't want to open my whole heart up to following this path because it's obviously leading down the direction where I'm actually supposed to follow the man and do what he says. And we're not equals. And this doesn't bring me full-on joy like it brings him. Now the thing is, the men don't realize how bad this feels to us, and how it erodes our sense of self over the years and over time, and our inability to speak up and really be equal in the workplace about the workplace on our terms, like a 4-day work week. Come on, 5 days is too much. 6 days is ridiculous. We have an inner life. We have children. We want to make love to our men. We want to cook good food. Why have money if we can't have a life worth living, But you love this guy, and he's awesome, and he's obviously going to be a provider, and he would be good with you staying home with your kids. And truthfully, what woman in the world wouldn't love to be supported, to be home with her kids when they need that? Now, of course, she doesn't want that her whole life, and she wants to have other interests and other ways to empower herself. But you love all this, right? So what do? Do you just be quiet and don't say anything? Do you say, no, I can't join you because of this religion thing? Well, I think that there must be a middle path, because what we women need to do is we need to start speaking up. We need to actually join with these churches and actually be vocal about our truth within them, but in a feminine way, not in a belligerent, rude, put-down way, and some soft, feminine way that's consistent and so strong it cannot be ignored. Now, one way to do this, it's really simple, is we know that people like, Saturday Night Live made fun of all the white people in all the white Democrats when Trump was elected, how we were all sitting around going, what? This is not a racist country. There's no racism in this country. And we're totally not facing the fact it's a very racist country, and this man ran on a racist platform. Well, that's because, as a white person, here goes my tea kettle, a white person, we don't know about it because we're not getting it aimed at us. So similarly, the guy, he doesn't have this sexism aimed at him, so he has no idea about how detrimental it is to our well-being all over the planet. You know, our inability to have abortions, health care, our being forced into marriages and forced into sex when we're not in love. It all comes down to religion that denies the feminine and puts down the feminine. So it's got to be tackled, okay, within our relationships in our lifetime. All right, so one thing to do is to join a church or create a women's healing group that has an older woman matriarch who is of ethnic descent, who is of color, and have it be a completely feminine-oriented, spiritual, religious group that you want him to join. You can tell him, I'm totally happy to join your thing and everything about it except for that you also need to join mine. So now in this group, what you do is you create this group so that it has rituals that give offerings to the goddess, okay? And some of the offerings are like, on the full moon, you pleasure me entirely. Nothing for yourself. You just go down on me or whatever we like to do, but it's all about me on every full moon. On the dark moon, it's all about you. We go all out for you, but you must show up for me before I can do you, right? We celebrate God the Mother, and we give offerings to her. And I'm sorry that this religion doesn't have anything about you in it, but it's because it's all one. It doesn't really matter. The word woman, that covers men too. Just like they say word mankind covers women. So you just give it all back to him. See how he feels, okay? After a while, you can tell him, look, it was all something I made up to give you an idea of what this is really about, and unless it really turns into a group you love and you want to keep going with it. I mean, those really are rituals that I partake in. So beautiful. So the idea is we say, well, what is religion that empowers women? Well, right now there is none. All of the religions all over the world are based on sublimation of the feminine, and there are fantastic qualities within those religions: beautiful chants, amazing prayers, ancient wisdom, incredibly wise healers and men. I mean, I really think that there have been Jesus has really existed all over the world, but by different names and in different traditions, as great healers who the God, the Mother, Father shines all the way through them, and they touch the hearts all around them and heal their community. So I think this is something possible for you, but not if you're feeling all the time by every group that in spiritual church service and everything, that you are not enough. You're not the primary one. You're not the head of the family. You're not the one. The head of the family thing, I think that in all these matriarchal cultures where the woman is really deeply listened to, she wants the man to be a leader and to seem like the head of the family in life. But that's because she knows really he's serving her in all that he does, and he's coming to listen to her and ask her, what next, my darling, So then there's the secret power within the family, or not so secret, is this powerful woman. So how are you going to balance it? These are just some of my ideas. The truth is, I can't I can't direct you, but love is what matters. Love is what matters. And if you're in love with this man, there must be a way. There must be a way. And if you love the church, there must be a way to infiltrate with the truth of women's needs. And we've just got to do it. We just got to do it now, but we need to do it in a way that's not like being like the men. We need to do it with our own feminine sweetness and authenticity. Okay, darling? Much love to you. I hope this has some benefit for your beautiful, beautiful life and the love you're creating. Much love, darling.